I woke up early today to watch the sunrise over the tufa formations of Mona Lake. These geological oddities are the product of a reaction between the calcium-rich springs at the bottom of the lake and the alkaline water of the lake itself. They've grown millimeter by millimeter over the centuries, hidden under the surface of the lake. They only emerge in the shoreline after the water level plummeted when Los Angeles started diverting water from the Eastern Sierra to quench its endless thirst.
All right, up and at 'em. Time for another exciting day. It's about 8 a.m. heading out of Mona Lake. I left my tent set up as base. Just trying to keep it light today, since I think some of the riding might get a little gnarly. I heard some wild horses last night, and I've seen their droppings, and haven't seen any yet, but hoping to spot some out this way. Oh man, flowing pretty quick here, and it looks really pretty loose and uneven in there. Really would hate to ground the bike and myself. Alright, I think it's time for a detour. That's one of the clear disadvantages of traveling alone. You know, if I was with a group or even a buddy, probably would have taken that water crossing, but alone, just not willing to chance it. And even in that one tight spot where I had to get the bike turned around, there's a lot of huffing and puffing. Definitely would have been easier with a buddy, but my buddy's not available, and I don't like riding in large groups, so on we go. It's time for our normal morning ritual here. Cleaning the chain, just a little bit of diesel from the pump. It's a trick I learned from Brett Tax. And by the way, this is where our center stand comes in really handy. A liberal slathering here of the diesel. Chain gets super dirty. You can see how black this is, and especially after burying it up to the axle yesterday in sand. Alright, that's it, all done. Time to get a coffee. It's going to be a long and remote ride today, so happy to have my trusty satellite beacon, just in case I get into some trouble.
The area around the Bodie Hills is pretty lonely and desolate these days, but in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it was one of the most bustling areas in the West. Many abandoned mining camps and ghost towns still dot this area. So the plan for today is to get into the backcountry and see what I can find. The first stop is Chimang Mine. Established as a mining operation in 1906, this site looks over the Bridgeport Valley from its perch at 8,600 feet above sea level. In its heyday, the mine had about 20 employees, and the camp consisted of a mill, mine offices, bunkhouse, and a general store. It was a productive mine, though it was overshadowed by neighboring Bodie and Masonic. It was finally abandoned in 1938, though a man named Elton Heinemeyer, known as Heine to his friends, lived and worked the mine in the 1950s and 60s, but with no success. About 50 miles down the road, and 1 mile from the Nevada border, Masonic was one of the larger mining camps in the area. Gold was first discovered here in 1860, but Masonic remained undeveloped until a rich vein was discovered in 1900. leading to the establishment of the Jump Up Joe and Pittsburgh Liberty mines. 3 towns initially sprung up around the mines: Lorna, or the Upper Town, Masonic, Middle Town, and Calaveda, Lower Town. But these were eventually merged into a single town called Masonic. At its peak, the town had a population of about 1,000 residents, with a school, a post office, a hotel, 2 saloons, a general store, and a newspaper. But the gold here followed no pattern, and the sporadic, rich pockets were quickly exhausted. The remnants of the mill and a few collapsed buildings are all that's left of the town today. Noon now, and it's really cooking. The forecast high for today was 84. The thermometer's showing 94 now. There isn't any shade or cover along this barren descent. Found this little tree to hide under and try to cool off a bit. You can hear the cooling fan working hard in the background. After about an hour-long descent from Masonic, I entered the desolate Walker River Basin. It's sweltering, and I've gone through most of my water. I'm having some serious reservations about trying to climb up to Aurora in this heat. The Walker River appears just over the bend, a narrow strip of greenery cutting through the brown expanse of the basin. Truly a sight for sore eyes. A chance to cool off and refill my depleted water supply may just salvage the rest of the day. Hey guys.
Pretty, huh?
The cool from the river doesn't last long in this heat, but with my water supply topped off, I decide to climb up to Aurora anyways. Arriving in Aurora is a bit of a disappointment. This wall is one of a handful of remaining structures from a town that once hosted a population of 8 to 10,000. The town sprang out of the dirt in the course of just a couple of years after rich deposits were found here in 1860. By 1863, there were 6,000 residents, 760 houses, 20 stores, and 22 saloons. Sitting on a disputed borderline, at one point this town was simultaneously the county seat of Mono County, California, and Esmeralda County, Nevada. The town declined almost as quickly as it grew, and by 1870, half of the houses were deserted, and most of the mills had shut down. The remaining buildings were dismantled and carted away to be used as building material in growing California cities. Aurora's most notable resident was Samuel Clemens, later known as Mark Twain, who tried his hand at mining here for about 5 months in 1861. His mining efforts came to nothing, but during this time he began writing letters and short articles for the Territorial Enterprise, a newspaper out of Virginia City. These early works were the start of his writing career, and the basis for his first book, Roughing It, an account of his adventures in the Nevada Territory. While the rest of the town has been lost to time, the cemetery remains well preserved. It's clear that someone is looking after it, though I couldn't find out who it was. Some notable graves include an entire family that perished in a diphtheria outbreak in 1878, a shattered headstone for a notorious gunman who himself was assassinated walking out of a saloon, a Nevada senator, and many more.